Hello, you rock stars out there. Miketallica here, and I'm ready to rock in this video. It's rock and roll music. I love my rock and roll. Alright, so since that's the cue to end it there, before we do anything, welcome everybody to the first episode of Rockin' Reviews. So, before we start that, I'm gonna take off this jacket, and then pop off these shades, and let's get rockin' with Heavy Metal Magazine, issue number 280. So, this magazine was brought to my attention because not only is Grant Morrison the editor-in-chief, but also the person who is the publisher is Kevin Eastman. And Heavy Metal is a magazine that's full of comic book reviews and stuff like that in here, with some stories that I want to share with all of you rock stars. Now, I do want to tell you one thing. This is an adult magazine that has nudity and all other stuff that's in there as well. So, I won't show you guys that stuff for the little dudes or dudettes out there. So, just to keep that as a heads up. So the first story I want to review to you is called Beachhead, which was written by Grant Morrison. And what it talks about is that there's these two aliens who are looking for this person called Winslow. And Winslow is like this, really mean character who goes around and says like all these things and zaps people who doesn't call him by his good name. So he finds these two aliens, and he actually makes them his little servants and stuff like that. So here's some artwork, by the way, which is drawn pretty awesome, I must say. So as we read towards more about what they call Earth, they're trying to find out more stuff about it. Like, the Wormslow's like looking for some Earth creatures, and the war boss isn't really pleased about that. So what he does is that he wants to execute them for finding some bacteria that was on there, and he just says, just take no prisoners, but orders are all made for that. So then we go into the second story called A Mind Bomb. Now, a mind bomb is a little bit of a dark story, where it talks about a little girl who has like this post-traumatic stress thing, where she saw a big atomic bomb. And that atomic bomb is something of her childhood dreams that has returned to her over and over again, along with meeting some stranger that she doesn't really know. And she's telling this story to these psychologists, and these psychologists aren't normal people. They're actually someone who wants to make things a little bit of a worse nightmare for her, in that sort of way. And then, in the end, she walks away with the stranger for all that, as they vanish between the curtain call. So then we go into the third story called Goddess. Now, Goddess, this story is a little bit sketchy. I didn't want to show the last one, though, because it was a little bit too gory. Like I said, it's an adult book for adult readers. So, with that, it talks about the story in this third one about Flordatus. And Flordatus is a demon who withdraw appeals mere mortals. And she just takes out everyone one by one. And what she does for that is that she kills all the murderers that want to take over her land. So they live under her rule, and by her hands, at the edge of her blade, they shall reveal their fate. So, definitely something. And then her grandmother comes in, that she really loves, wondering why she does this. And well, she doesn't see a good happy ending there, because she becomes the goddess for that. And that's the end of that story. Some stories have it to be continued and some the end, so just going to give you a brief of what the story's about. So the next story is called The Absurd Side of Comics and Science, where... oh, the boring sequential story. And this is where there's this little boy who is asking for Santa Claus a gift. And the gift that he gets is this telescope where he can probably discover the world and stuff like that. But it's not just to look out in the sky and look at stars. This is more likely looking at women and stuff like that. And also, we have a little bit of a cameo appearance by Kevin the Boss of Heavy Metal Comics Planet. Rock and rolling right there. But since he can't hear him and everything, well, let's just say that it ended up where he was just discovering more things with his telescope from there on in. So the next story is called Julia and Rome. Now, Julia and Rome is kind of like the story of Romeo and Juliet, but in a darker way. For example, like, I want to show you guys some artwork. Not too gruesome. Let me see. Well, there isn't really... Like, I'll show you this page right here. Like, what it talks about is that Romeo and Juliet are trying to be together. Or Rome and Julia, I should say. And with that, the father is really concerned about who Julia is with, because he knows how Rome can be. And when she goes back there, and as Rome is trying to figure out ways of not getting caught, her father is just saying just to go catch up with Hilda, because under this flaw of any circumstances, the guy who's trying to catch is a bit of an assassin. It has to be continued in the next issue. So looking forward to seeing how more is going to reveal in that story. Then we get a little bit of a Q&A with Mimi Schultz, who is an artist for some of the comic books, and the interview was pretty interesting. I really like the way that she brings all the stuff to life. Because artists can really change the world when it comes to comic books, I must say. So then we get into this other story called The Key, where this guy's in a woman's, or this little girl is in a man's body, and she comes out whenever she wants to, and he just shoots an arrow, and that's the end. So the next story, that's called Time Served, is where they're on this mission to save this person. What was the name of it? Some bird-like turtle creature. And there's like this stuff that's a valuable drug that's on his back. And artwork, like I said, for other stories, this one's a little bit sketchy also. And we get some of the teams that actually appear in that comic section. And what they do is that when there's an ambush, they appear in action. And it's just a one-story deal, because the guy says in the end, we're going to rip time open and see what happens after they get through what they had to. The next story, called The 49th Key, is a story about Bodhi, who has these demonic powers to see what's going to happen in the future. And there's a volcano that's erupting, so they have to find a way out of there. And also with other stuff that they need. But the artwork right here, though, that's sick rockin' artwork right there. And DeLuca is trying to stop him, but he can't be stopped there because he has all of these magical powers. So we have all these other people who come in that have come through the ancient stones, and they want to know whom they should speak to, and the person who they see cannot believe their very eyes. So that is also to be continued. Alright, next story there is called Magic Words, which is just a one-page thing, which is just a comic-y like section. And I must admit, though, some of the gallery artwork that they show in between the comic books, like an intermission, so to say, they're like really awesome. Really realistic, too, by Gail Potoki, if I said your name right. If not, I do apologize. So the next story that we go into with that starts with that lecture where he talks about Reccagism. And some of the stuff that they talk about in the lecture hall was kind of boring. Like, I gotta admit, Rockstars, it almost put me to sleep for that. And then they talk about the Chocolate Sundae Madonna, which does have nudity, but I can't show it because, you know, I don't want to, you know, show that stuff on the Rockin' Reviews. And it plays a really interesting role in this because somebody takes the Chocolate Sundae Madonna. And who is that person? It goes by the name of Vita von Vadhammer. And that, she's got rock and roll style. Kind of like the way I look in this rock and roll stuff. So they're trying to get that back. But with all the red alerts going on and her taking that, she does say reason why. Like, she's come to take revenge for the destruction of her master and comrade. Which is why she wreaks havoc of taking that statue. So, after that, when she tries to get away, or she does actually, to rock even harder, that's the end of the story. So then we go into this next story called Lepotorin, which is just like something about where he's flying in this jet, and then in the end, the cocoon people are the ones that are collecting the model planes. Like, they actually turn the humans into stone, and then make the jets a little bit smaller, and they add to their collection. And that was basically the end of that story. The next story was a little bit, I mean, summer is almost here, and there are bugs that are going to be coming out, so this next one is called the Invertebrates. Well, Salsa Invertebrates, excuse me there. And just talks about bugs and what they're doing, and who their prayers are, and stuff like that. I mean, it's interesting to learn about bugs. I mean, probably none of you might be bug-like studiers out there, unless you're scientists or anything else. And so that's the end of this part 1 of 6. Just talking about that. And we have the next preview issue to the next Heavy Metal magazine, but I'm going to wait until the next Rockin' Review. But the magazine of issue number 280, the rating I give for this, I say this deserves between a 4 to 4.5 out of 5 Rockin' Stars. I would say pick this up. Like I said, this isn't for little dudes and little dudettes out there. No. Not for little rock stars. These are for adult readers. Because there is nudity, blood, and everything else that adults should see, but not for children. So, just saying that, I would say definitely you should pick up that magazine and just read for yourselves and see what you think. So with that, everybody, it's time I rock on out of here. So, thank you all for watching the Rockin' Review of Heavy Metal Magazine, issue number 280. Comment below if you'd like to see more, because I will definitely come back for issue number 281. And the reason why, if you're saying 280, well, I did try to find issues 1 through 279. Yeah, they're a bit sold out, so, yeah, that's a little bit of a shame right there. But it is close to 300, so I'll definitely be reviewing more of that. And also want to thank all of you rock stars out there who have commented on the rise of Miketallica. It really means a lot to me, and I really am going to try to bring all the rockin' stuff out there for all of you rock stars out there, because you guys and gals out there mean the world to me. But advertise for Miketallica, tell your moms, your dads, your friends, your dogs, your cats, anybody and everybody on the planet. Hell, if you could even go to Mars and tell them too. Let them know about Miketallica. And I'll definitely bring more of that out there. So with that, everybody, that is my Rockin' Review of Heavy Metal Magazine, issue number 280. Also, since I am doing this for Comic Frontline, I do want to let you guys know that there is a subscribe button. So if you want to subscribe to this channel so that way we'll be in your subscription boxes and you won't miss out on any videos for yours truly, Miketallica, and all the other comic frontliners out there who do reviews, because they do an amazing job as well. Click that subscribe button because it means the world to us. And also, in the comment section, feel free to leave anything you want to say about this magazine or about my Miketallica character, because all of you wanted this, and all of you, I've heard it, and you're going to get it. So, that'll be all for this video. So, until next time, Rockstars out there, Miketallica signing out, and I'm saying, just keep and stay rockin'. Until next time, everybody, rockin' on out of here. Later, everybody, and let's rock on with more issues to come. Later, everybody.
I got too much pressure.